I met Donald Trump at a VA hospital. What he did changed my life forever. I never thought I'd see the man again, not after what happened at the resort all those years ago. But there he was, Donald J. Trump, walking into the VA hospital's rehab center like he was still on the campaign trail, larger than life and shaking hands with everyone like it was a rally. I was just a volunteer physical therapist back then, fresh out of the Marines, trying to make sense of life with a busted knee and an even more shattered sense of purpose. The room got quiet when he stepped in. Some cheered, some stared, but I just froze, because 10 years earlier, that man had saved my sister's life without even knowing it. You see, when my family was facing eviction during the 2008 crisis, and my sister was battling leukemia with no insurance, it was a check from an anonymous DJT that paid for her bone marrow transplant and gave us a second chance. We never figured out who it was until now. He didn't recognize me at first, but I'll never forget those eyes. After the tour, I caught up with him, introduced myself, and thanked him. He paused, looked me dead in the eye, and said, "Your sister, her name was Eliza, right?" My heart stopped. That's when I knew. He remembered. He pulled me aside and told me the whole story. How he'd been sent a letter from a desperate mother with a picture of two kids smiling despite everything. He said something about those eyes, how they reminded him of someone he used to know, a housekeeper from Queens who raised him more than anyone else did. Her name was Alma, and she taught him to read when no one else bothered. He said Eliza's eyes looked just like hers. I couldn't believe I was hearing this from the man the media always painted as a villain, as cold and selfish. But in that moment, he was just a man haunted by a debt he could never repay, doing what he could for a family he'd never meet. Until now. He asked how Eliza was doing. I told him she didn't make it past 2012. He didn't say anything for a minute, just looked away and nodded. Then he did something no one expected. He asked to meet the other patients, the broken vets, the forgotten heroes. He talked with every single one of them, listened to their stories, shook hands, even held the hand of a double amputee who couldn't speak but mouthed the words, "Thank you." That moment changed something in him. I could see it. The bravado faded, replaced by a stillness, a kind of heavy awareness. 2 months later, Trump launched the Valor Initiative, a national program to house and retrain wounded veterans, naming the first rehab center Eliza House. He invited me to speak at the opening, and while I stood at that podium with my voice shaking, I realized this wasn't just about politics or legacy. It was about people, about redemption. Trump didn't do it for press or polls. In fact, he barely promoted it. He just showed up, cut the ribbon, hugged me, and whispered, "For Alma and Eliza." Behind the cameras and the controversies, there was a man who carried silent debts and paid them forward in the only way he knew how, through action. Since that day, I've been part of the Valor team, traveling the country, helping forgotten veterans rebuild their lives. Every time someone thanks me, I remember that afternoon at the VA center when I met the man I thought I knew, and learned that even giants have ghosts they honor. Love him or hate him, Donald Trump changed my life, not with a policy or a speech, but with a quiet act of kindness that still echoes in every life touched by the Valor Initiative. And if that's not what legacy truly means, I don't know what is. What struck me even more was how he kept following up afterward, texting once in a while to ask how the facility was doing, or if we had everything we needed. Once, he flew in unannounced, just to sit with a few of the vets during their group therapy. No cameras, no press, just him and them, listening. He brought books, board games, even old letters he had written to himself while building his empire, as if to show them that every path to redemption starts with humility. One day, I asked him why he was investing so much time. He looked me square in the face and said, "Because someone once gave me a second chance. I never told anyone. But Alma, she bailed me out of my first real failure. She took money from her retirement savings so I wouldn't lose my first property deal. No one ever knew. Not my dad. Not the press. Just her. I never repaid her. She died before I could. This is me repaying the world." That stayed with me. Every person who walks into Eliza House isn't just receiving aid. They're becoming part of a cycle of healing and honor that started long before any of us were born. We've since expanded the Valor Initiative to 7 other states, including centers in Ohio, Texas, and Florida, each named after unsung heroes. And every opening ceremony starts the same way, with a moment of silence for the people who showed kindness when the world looked away. Donald Trump, the man I once saw as untouchable, taught me that greatness isn't measured by what you build, but by who you lift along the way. He didn't just honor my sister, he gave me a purpose again. He turned my pain into power. And in doing so, he reminded me, and now I remind you, that behind every headline, behind every myth or opinion, there is a story worth telling. And sometimes, that story has the power to heal us all. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps us reach more people with powerful, real-life stories like this one. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts or personal experiences. We read every single one. And if you want to be part of this journey and never miss a moment, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. We've got more inspiring stories coming your way every week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay kind, stay strong.